Hello, and welcome to Diary of an Independent Artist. I'm your host, Rachel Winters, my co-host, Dustin McCulloch, and with us today, special guest, Rome, a.k.a. Rome Music.
Oh, yeah. What's going on, y'all?
Bow, 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 bow. So,
What's going on, y'all? Let's get it cracking, man. Let's do this. Come on.
So in a few minutes here, we'll get into some of the Am I the A-Hole Stories Music Industry Edition. But first, Rome, I wanted to give you a chance to tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe catch the people up on how we're connected.
All right. In case you guys haven't heard already, back in 2020, like literally in the peak of the pandemic, me and Rachel dropped a banger called Controlled Chaos. Yeah, we shot it at my older brother's Muay Thai gym here in Houston, and remember how hot it was? It was, actually, I'm sorry, it wasn't hot, it was freezing. Wasn't it freezing? It was in February, right? Something like that. Because I remember we had to have like this portable heater in there. But anyway, ended up being a hit track, and yeah, I mean, ever since then, I just knew that Rachel was super cool, had awesome vibes, and yeah, she I mean, it's safe to say you're my friend now, right?
Yes, friend. Well, it took off, and how many streams did it amass?
Well, by far it's our biggest track to this day. But yeah, I think in the first year it surpassed 1 million streams on Spotify.
That's pretty cool.
Did you get a plaque in the mail?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, super cool, man. Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's all you, to be honest, man. I mean, I just need to get you on every track now, because obviously we got something going. I mean, something good going on, you know. So
yeah. Well, cool. Okay, so just real quick, what's your genre?
It's kind of a weird hybrid genre. It's I guess a cross hybrid breed of freaking death metal, deathcore with straight hip hop, like
rap,
hip hop trap elements, even orchestra elements, cinematic stuff.
Yeah, like, you had a violinist for a while.
Yeah, well, no, we still do. I mean, I just definitely like the violin instrument. I truly believe it adds like a cinematic aspect to our sound, so I'm all for that.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Thanks.
Okay, so let's hop into some of these Am I the A-Hole stories, and then after we wrap those, I have some questions for you as an artist, not only about your own art, but just about the music industry, and we'll talk a little bit about your fighting too.
Let's do it.
All right, so I'm going to pull up the list of the Am I the A-Hole stories, and we'll let you pick which one you want to do.
Can't wait to hear these.
So,
these are fun.
First option is wife's opera career. Second option is my friend's music is not my forte. And third option is son's music career.
I have to go with the friends. That, not my forte.
Friend's music is not my forte. Okay. Let's read it.
It's like the one that like all musicians I think relate to.
Yeah, for sure.
They've experienced it, and they've also like had other friends like you know.
It's been deleted by the Reddit user.
Blasphemy! Are you serious?
Yeah.
Really?
What was your second option?
Oh damn! Well, do the last one about the son.
Music career.
Yeah.
And I will link all of these in the description of this YouTube video.
Dang. Well, it's all right. Second best.
All right. Are we ready, kids?
Yep. Aye, Captain. Let's do it.
Thank you. Okay. Am I the a-hole for not wanting my son to pursue a music career? Please excuse my subpar English. It's not my first language. I actually feel like he has great English and grammar. My 45 female son, 17 male, has always been interested in music, but only as a hobby. However, about a year ago, he started taking it super seriously and now practices about 5 hours a day. Holy moly. And dedicates his free time to reading music books and writing songs. A few days ago, he mentioned that he would like to become a professional musician. Now, I have no problem with his love for music, but I'm worried about him having it as a career. When he started in high school, his original plan was to take a degree in computer science, but he said himself that it was because computer science was the only subject that didn't bore him at school. My son does very well at school and is usually around the top of his class despite his very hard subject choices. However, I noticed that his grades have dropped quite significantly. Now getting only slightly above average grades, only slightly above average, and some of his teachers have commented on his lack of effort in projects and in the classroom. This is like super long. Okay. Basically, she's seeing his grades decline a little bit, but he's still getting above average. Yeah. Let's see. He told me, Mom, I hate school. Nothing about it is interesting to me, and I don't want to waste my time doing useless work. Music is literally the only thing that I enjoy, and I want to do it as my job. This got me quite concerned, and I told him that I wouldn't allow him to, as I worry about his financial situation in the future. Yeah. He got visibly upset and wouldn't really talk to me for the next few days. When I talked to my husband about it, he fully supported me and said my son should take something more secure. However, I don't want my son to resent me for forcing him to give up his dreams, so I gave him an agreement. I still wanted him to take a degree in computer science, but at a much easier university so that he wouldn't have to stress too much about schooling, and told him that he could still make music with a computer science degree, but couldn't become a computer scientist with a music degree. He was still quite disappointed at the agreement, saying, I don't want to take a degree in something that I have no interest in. Yeah. What's the point in having money when I'm wasting my life doing something I don't want to do? Although I feel like my agreement was fair, I'm still struggling to convince him and feel a bit bad for him since I understand his point. Am I the a-hole?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, you are. I hate to break it to you, but sorry.
Yeah,
sorry,
definitely.
Mom.
5 hours a day? I mean...
That's just for practice. Outside of that, he's dedicating time to reading music books. I think it was like reading sheet music, writing music.
If I could get
any of my clients to do that.
If I could get any of my students to have that kind of dedication to their craft, I mean, golly.
The language that I particularly didn't like was I won't allow him to. It sounds like her son is a grown adult.
Yeah.
17 though.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's 17.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there are maybe stipulations, like maybe they're paying for school.
Yeah, you got to know some of the details, but they just sound like old-fashioned parents that don't see that as a true outlet. I mean, let's be real. In most cases, it's not. A lot of people fail in this music industry and pick it up, or they get over it. The thing is, like, 17, the world is his oyster. Like, he's just started, like, and I understand what she's saying. Like, music's always, I guess, somewhat going to be there. Just spend the next 4 years getting this degree and then see where you want to do there. And when you're a grown man, at 21, 22. But at the end of the day, I mean, if that's really his drive, like, if he's miserable doing computer science or whatever that is, then like, dude, no.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, like, yeah. I mean, for example, I did sports and stuff in college and stuff, and I was getting a degree to coach and teach, but I still had interest in that field.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this as the backup plan in case it doesn't work out.
Still something that makes you
but I
happy.
had interest in it. This guy doesn't. Obviously, he's like, dude, I can't stand this.
He said he hates it.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I always tell people, like, especially in the music world, you can't have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a backup plan, you're going to do the backup plan. That's just all there is to anything in entrepreneurial spirit. Yeah. You've just got to go for it. Give, like, with your whole being. Yeah. And being an artist, pursuing music, that's an entrepreneurial spirit.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you're a little businessman, I mean, that's like, it's so
my mindset, my mentality has always been plan B is to make plan A work.
Right. I like that.
Figure it
That's
out.
awesome.
Ooh, you should make t-shirts with that.
I don't know. Maybe I heard it somewhere else, but somber, like, when I was, in college and stuff.
It's not about who does it first. It's about who does it second and capitalizes
right? I don't know. Trademark right now by Real Music.
Yeah.
But overall, though, I'm big on like your true happiness, and no matter what, even if that kid is young and all that stuff, if he's absolutely miserable, and maybe he goes to college, he doesn't like what he does, so that is not motivating him to even go to class, and then he flunks out of class, and now it's just like, now you have wasted money, Mom. How do you feel about that? Because you forced this on your child.
Useless degree I'm not going to use.
Yeah.
I think it's good to be realistic with kids. You know, it's your job as a parent to be realistic about the world and risks and all that. But I can't imagine like watching our son dedicate 5 hours a day and some change to something and doing anything other than fully supporting and celebrating it and seeing where I could step in to maybe support in making it a career, making that a reality.
And I would say, like, let's say like you ever seen the that episode of Friends where Ross comes in and he brings his keyboard and he's all excited because he gets to show the music that he worked on all those years when he was a teenager, and he finally shows these like all these people that the music that he made when he was younger, and it's awful. It's like terrible music. It's like I could see a world where your kid is like, yeah, I'm going to be like, I'm working 5 hours a day and like everything is like garbage and not progressing,
but
getting
get
better.
Them help. Get them a songwriting coach.
I was going to say, I can see. I can see how a parent would then feel, but I would still say like help your kid out, but
sure.
But that's not what this situation is. Like, it sounds like this kid's actually good.
Yeah.
Like at music. So like,
and that's another thing. I could be wrong, but did she even like compliment him? Like, he's actually good. He's got great.
No, not that I saw.
So, I mean,
I skipped some of it because she was like really going on and on. But
I honestly feel like if she was really on Reddit posting that she would go all in and be like, guys, he's not that good. Trust me here.
Yeah.
He needs to do computer science.
She would have been honest.
You know what I mean? It just sounds more like this isn't a very secure route to take.
You know what else though is like, of course you don't want to watch your kid fail, but failing is part of being a human. Like even if that happens, you should still, you know what? At least you'll know at the end of the day they didn't fail because you didn't support them as a parent.
And it's better to fail at that age than when you're,
That's, I was going to say,
this
it's
is
like
the time to do literally anything and everything and suck at all of it.
Can you imagine if you could go back to just being 18 again, and like how so many things that we would just do completely differently, and even knowing where social media was going to go.
Right.
And
if I could keep my knowledge, I would do it. But if I couldn't keep my knowledge and I couldn't keep my maturity, you couldn't pay me enough to go back to school.
Oh, yeah. I hear you.
No, but I was going to say, like, to the point of, like, do it now. Like, the computer science degree, there's no... Like, you can get a computer science degree at any point in your life. Yeah. That's not that big of a big of an ask. You can go to online college, get a computer science degree. The places that you would be getting jobs are not looking at your actual school. They're saying, oh, you have the experience and the knowledge. Like, if you got the degree, that's fine. So, like, there's so much you can do there. Yeah. But when you're 17, there's an element of riskiness that you're allowed to take that you don't get later in life.
You're not going to get your youth back, man.
Like if I wanted to try something, like there's a lot more at risk than just me falling on my butt. I've got people that depend on me. And like, but when you're 17, if the absolute worst case scenario happens and you completely fail and you have no money, you go back home and you restart. And you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. So final vote, she is the a-hole?
She's tripping.
Yeah, definitely.
Reddit dubbed her the a-hole as well.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom.
I hope he's pursuing it. I hope you're listening to this right now and chasing that dream, young man.
How dare you, woman?
Wouldn't it be funny if y'all like found him and y'all got him to produce a song?
It's Jacob Collier.
Jesus.
It's Jacob Collier.
That's funny.
Okay, let's pick another one.
All right. Let's do it.
Okay, first option is wanting to improve and move forward. Second option is giving honest feedback. And third option is being the artist's neighbor. So
this is the am I the a-hole?
Yeah, wanting to improve and move forward seems like it's going to be a little vanilla. I don't know. I haven't read any of them. Giving honest feedback seems like it might have some tea.
Yeah,
and
let's do that.
I'm interested in that one as a voice coach.
Being the artist neighbor feels like it's definitely going to be about like, am I annoying my neighbors with my music?
Yeah.
So y'all want to do
feedback.
giving honest feedback?
Yeah.
Okay, this one isn't too long. Am I the a-hole for giving a producer honest feedback? I'm a music producer. I have gained quite a following over the past couple years, and I'm at the point where I'm ready to do tours. Tour as a producer? How would you do that?
Well, he might mean like a DJ.
Like a DJ?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Recently, I created a Discord server with others, with the main focus being helping people become better musicians and DJs. There you go. Whilst, he must be from the United Kingdom. Whilst also providing a hub for those to listen to new genres or to talk about ones they like. As a part of the first point listed above, there is a channel made specifically for feedback. I have made it clear that sometimes feedback is not what you expect and that negative feedback might be expected. The intention is not to cause upset, but rather for them to understand clearly what they have done wrong or could do better in the future. This was a respected rule until, quote unquote, John came along. Ooh, John, what'd you do?
John? You dirty boy. Come on.
John, I'm going to put a lot of attitude on his name. John did not bother to socialize with the members, but instead asked them to look in the feedback section to listen to his songs. I was like, okay, maybe it's not so bad. God, I was wrong. I figured that he was a newcomer, and I asked, to which he responded, yeah, I am. I told him that it wasn't the best, but a decent effort was made, and if he wanted any tips, he could ask me or anyone else with the expertise. After telling him this, he lashed out at me, calling me all names under the sun, that I was deluded and needed to get my ears checked. I was like, excuse me? I love that he says I was like.
Yeah, it includes that in
this
the
is definitely
writing.
like a 50-year-old British man. And he's like, I was like, there's no way this guy is serious. So I went and told him every individual error I could find in the track and explained how, with that attitude and that level of sound design, he will not achieve anything, that he should probably just quit. He went in on John.
He gave it to him straight. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I regret saying that now. John further went on to insult my name and music, and he left the server. Afterwards, a friend of mine said that I was too harsh on him and to be light on newbies, but I'm steady in my ways, and I believe they need to be given corrective feedback honestly, even if it's brutal, so that they can learn what went wrong, why it went wrong, and how to fix it in the future. Am I the a-hole or not?
Okay. This kind of is going a slightly different direction than I thought. Like, you might be the a-hole, and it might be unnecessarily, or it might be necessary. Like, sometimes you do need to be, a little bit abrupt and kind of like harsh with people, but I don't know. It kind of sounds like he might be one of those types who says, I just tell it like it is, or I just speak my mind, and it's really code for I'm a jerk all the time.
I don't know, man. If you're in charge of a whole Discord server of producers where you're giving and receiving feedback, I would imagine you're not that kind of person. You know what I mean?
Am I wrong? But John was kind of an ass to him, right? Like,
he did kind of start it. You're right.
Was kind of just like, nah, bro, you don't know what you're talking about.
He said you need to get your ears checked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he said that he gave him honest feedback, but said that a good effort was made. It sounds like he gave him the sandwich.
And this guy seems like he's very credible. Whoever this UK British or
I don't know if I believe that he's British. See, I didn't see him say the word governor once in there.
Yeah. He didn't say anything about tea and crumpets.
So yeah. I mean, obviously a British person would have said something about governor or tea and crumpets.
I kind of feel like what's the point in joining a community to get feedback if you're not open and receptive to that feedback? It's like, it can hurt your feelings sometimes, but, and I get what he's saying about it. Like, it sounds like it rubbed him the wrong way that John didn't even bother to socialize with the people in the server first. That's like a newcomer mistake, though. I don't really fault him for that. I've definitely been part of like indie artist communities where I didn't understand the social aspect of like it's polite to socialize first. I was like, no, everyone's here just like help me fix my problems, you know. So I think you learn that over time. But yeah, don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing. I always tell my people when they're asking for critiques or whatever, or they're talking about people they're working with who are giving them critiques, I always say there's two types of critiquing. One is valuable, the other one is not. If somebody is listening to your music and they don't have a vision for it at all, like they truly just are on a completely different like creative plane, and they are not going to ever understand the vision of what you're going for, their criticism is meaningless because they're not trying to take your artistic vision and turn it into the best version of what you want it to be or what it is trying to be, because art kind of takes a life of its own. So they're trying to say, well, like let's just scrap it and do something totally different. That criticism is really not worth it to you as an artist. As an artist, you have to know there's the people who listen and they get like they catch on. They're like, okay, I understand this art. I think I know what you're like really shooting for here. So let me tell you what I think will actually fulfill the vision of what you're aiming for. That's the criticism you listen to. And in a forum like that, I don't know that, you know, like that guy might have, first of all, he was too sensitive. Like if you go on a forum like that and you ask for criticism and you get it, you're too, But you see what I'm saying? Like that forum may not be the place for him to like find that kind of connection.
Overall, my hypothesis is he's not wrong. I mean, the guy is not, the producer is not the a-hole to me, or a-hole, sorry. He's not the a-hole to me, because I just think that he's speaking his truth and what he's knowledgeable about. And they both might not have the same vision, but I feel like he would be if Mr. John would have been more, like you said, open and receptive to like, okay, yeah, I did come here to hear something. I didn't come to the positive forum feedback.
Right.
You know what I mean? Discord server, just positive feedback only. So, I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, you know how many times I've heard just negative stuff about, especially coming up and learning. Like, yeah, dude, it's all part of the it's growing pains. I mean, look at Gordon Ramsay and then like, dude, like that,
it's wrong.
Sometimes you just, I'm all for like, dude, like sometimes brutal honesty is key. To wake people up.
And describing it as growing pains is a good way to put it, because you have to get used to receiving that constructive feedback or you're not going to grow. It's like, I get it. We all want to think, you know, we're great at things, and maybe in our own ways we are, but if you want to join the rest of that community and you want to be able to hang, you got to be able to accept that criticism, and it can't bring your ego tumbling down every time.
It's actually refreshing. I don't know. I'm assuming this was recently, but it's actually refreshing to hear this, because we live in a day and age where, I mean, here's a gold star for just
everything
for just walking down the road. I don't know, like literally the participation trophies are given out all the time. Like there's no no desire or drive to get to be to the top or number one or whatever your definition of number one is, because we're just so easy to pat somebody on the back like good job and blah blah blah. Like, no, dude, sorry, but that was not good, and you shouldn't be. You're crippling whoever this person is that is by giving him this kind of like encouragement, even though it's not very good.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, I'm right there. I'm right there with you. I've definitely had my share of moments where, you know, I tell people all the time. I mean, what I do for a living is tell people that they're not doing it right. I mean, I'm a voice coach. Like, I'm like, hey, that part you could do better. And this is why I was at the beginning. I said he might be the a-hole. I wasn't sure because like I don't know how he's doing it. You know, I don't know what I would love for him to like say exactly what he said to John, you know, because if he gets on the
screenshot.
yeah.
And where the receipts at?
Yeah. Like, were you really cool to John or were you mean to John? Like unnecessarily, you know,
there's three sides to every story.
Yes.
For sure.
But I will say that it does, from the story, it does kind of sound like John got his feelings a little butthurt, you know.
Yeah.
Saw the lights flicker.
Hopefully the lights don't go out. We are like doing this podcast in the middle of a storm, y'all. No big deal.
It's crazy outside right now.
Yeah. But one last thing I will say is there was a time where when I was in college and I was just like in my like straight rapping phase, and I was learning, I was still trying to perfect that craft, but there was some definite growing pains. I listened to my old mixtapes, I'm like, good God, someone should have stopped me.
But it's like you can't get to where you are now without
No, you're absolutely right, but I'm just saying, once upon a time when I had some of those songs, I would let my friends listen to it, and they're like, bro, this shit is fire, man.
Yeah.
Like, and then I'd go home and like show my brother, and he'd be like, dude, nah, this is trash, fam. I love you, man, but you gotta, like,
that's a good brother.
You should have had that one dude's mom.
Your rhymes,
come stop you.
like your rhymes, your bars are not very tight right now. And looking back at it, like he was right. And I at that time I'm like, dude, no, man, my friends think this shit is fire.
Yeah.
You're old, bro. You don't like, you're not with the times. Like I was just being ignorant, dude. And so
I went through some of those phases, like, oh, you're just like, maybe you're old, you don't get it, you know.
So that was just a time like where, like, my brother being brutally honest with me helped me, like, you know what I mean, like, because sometimes your friends would just be yes man and tell you the things you want to hear because you're friends, but like, and you don't want to make things awkward with your friends, but
I've learned to do the sandwich really quick. Could you do me a favor? Could you just make sure the phone is filming?
Yep.
Tell me about the sandwich.
Yeah, the sandwich. You gotta. The bread is the positive. Okay. The meat is the negative. You gotta toss out a positive. Ooh, like, I really like the direction you're going with this. I think the theme is really interesting. Here are the things I like. Because I'll be honest with you, there's not, I can't think of a single time I've listened to someone's, product of music, whether it be a demo or whatever, and there hasn't been a single thing that I liked about it. I am a connoisseur of art. I love art. So there's always going to be something I like about it. So I love the, big idea, whatever, da-da-da-da. I wonder about this area, like curiosity.
Maybe we could change.
Have you considered, have you received other feedback on blank? Follow up with, this is going to be so cool. Like, I can't wait to hear the final product, or like the vocals are sick, or whatever. Like, positive,
little sandwich,
negative,
nice
positive.
Slice of bread, something positive. Put the dirty stuff in the middle. Close it off with another.
And I've also noticed that if you can find a way to go about it without it being direct feedback on I think or I believe, but more asking questions to try to guide them in the right direction. Because sometimes people just like, they just haven't even thought about it. You know what I mean? So you can just ask
Rachel's
questions.
out here using the Socratic method to give people feedback.
Well, because people will arrive to conclusions on their own a lot of the time, So
I didn't even know I was doing the sandwich method, but I do that sometimes with like some of my bandmates and stuff, when like maybe Holden or Jess or somebody might have a random idea that they shoot me, and I'm like, at the end of the day, like, it's my band, and like, so they send it to me to kind of get like the final say so, like, do you like this vision? And there's sometimes it'll be absolute fire, and I'm like, dude, this is why you're here. Thank you. You can do stuff I couldn't even imagine. And there's sometimes where I'm just like, it's not really, I don't think it fits this song, but then I'll give them a positive. It's never just straight like, no, dude, scratch this.
Right.
You're horrible. Like,
and huge positive.
You know what I mean? Like, no.
Huge positive there is like having a band that's invested enough in the project to like want to be tossing out ideas. It's hell yeah, man. Like that's actually so much more rare than people think.
Yeah, and we all have individuals that are open to also like, okay, I understand. Like, I thought about like there's never been like where I've said something like, oh, this is not gonna work for this song, and then someone's like, BS, man, this shit is a hit, man. Like, what are you talking? We've never had that. So all our individuals in our band are pretty good when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah. Well, should we pick another one, or should we move on to the artist section?
I say we move on.
Yeah. Okay. So the vote is a-hole or no?
I'm gonna say no.
He switched.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought maybe at the beginning I might think he's the, but even then at the beginning I thought sometimes it's needed.
Yeah.
Reddit dubbed him not the a-hole as well.
Yeah. I still would like to see receipts of what exactly what he said.
Yeah, give us the receipts.
I just gave him honest feedback. He's like, kill yourself.
He's all talking shit about his family and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
That's why your mama sucked. That's why.
Oh my gosh.
Your daddy should have wore rubber. Oh God,
Oh my gosh.
It's bad. Anyway.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the artist section now. Rome, tell me a little bit about how Rome Music got started. And firstly, do you prefer Rome or Rome Music? Like when I'm talking to you, I feel weird being like, yo, Rome Music, because you're like my friend Rome.
I'm Rome, but even when I was when Rome Music was just straight independent hip hop artist, I still referred to myself as Rome Music, but still you can call me Rome. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Well, how did Rome Music begin?
I mean, dude, without having to like be here for 3 hours of just talking, I'll try to make it brief. But I mean, it all basically started when my pops got me a acoustic guitar when I was in the 3rd grade for Christmas. The old little first act acoustic guitars from Walmart.
Oh my gosh. You just
dad
pulled a deep memory out of my brain.
Yeah, dude. It was like the best Christmas ever. And well, honestly, it was from Santa Claus. It was supposed to be Santa. You know what I mean? And sorry, kids, if you're watching this, Santa's real, okay?
We love Santa.
Yeah, basically, he got me that, and I just was like inspired to just kind of learn how to play guitar. But I also was like it was hard. Like it was hard, and I will mention that my older brother Trey also was already playing the guitar, but he was playing the electric guitar and stuff like that. And dude, I have 3 older brothers, and we're all very competitive. So like Trey at the time was like not trying to show me his skills. Like he was just kind of like, no, I play the guitar, dude.
Yeah.
Like
what is my thing?
What is dad doing getting you a guitar? This is this is my thing.
Dude, that's such a weird thing that siblings do.
Yep. And anyway, but eventually he told me some things. I think the first song I ever learned on the guitar was Aerials by System of a Down. And that was my first like ever since that happened, I got inspired, and I was kind of off and on with the instrument, and then I kind of like I picked it back up with the electric guitar in 6th grade, and then just kind of fell in love with it even more, and started that's when I started becoming a little metalhead and doing covers of metalcore songs and all these like bands like As I Lay Dying, and all like trying to do Parkway Drive and all these other bands that were popping at that time when I was in middle school and stuff. And definitely went through my little emo phase, going to Hot Topic all the time.
Yes.
And wearing the like.
Did you own a studded belt?
Yes, sure did.
Yes.
But the thing that was weird about me was like back then, like I was still a jock.
Yeah.
Still a jock, very athletic.
Emo jock?
And all that. But it was like, that was the cool thing. It's like, you know how in the movies, the dudes wearing the Letterman jackets, they're usually jerks, and they're like bossing, bullying the emo kids and stuff like that. Well, I was like the opposite. Yeah. I was like, moving forward, like in high school, I was like the quarterback for the school and everything like that. And I was at lunch jamming like Job for Cowboy, deathcore with like all these emo kids and stuff wearing skinny jeans, and I'm like in athletic clothes. But yeah, I didn't fit that stereotype. I was cool with a bunch of band kids and all that stuff. And but anyway, moving forward, in high school I did play basically in a I'll say a garage band, because we never really got in the studio or anything like that, but we played in my parents' garage, and it was with my older brother Trey and his friends. And these guys were, I mean, dude, I was 15 years old, 16 years old, being a front man for a band full of like grown ass men. I mean, my brother was 21. I think our drummer had like 3 kids and was like 40. And and then the other, like, I think we had a bassist and another guitarist that are around like 23, 25, and we did shows here, and I remember having to like stay outside of the bar because I was so young I couldn't go in until it was actually like performance time.
Right.
That's so funny.
And then you're just playing in front of drunk people and all that stuff. But hey, dude, like those were all like learning moments, and everybody. And I see, it's funny because I see so many bands like doing that now and stuff, and I just like that's why it's been so long took so long for Rome Music to finally start doing shows and stuff, is because like I just felt like I already went down that route, that local scene and stuff like that. So but definitely those moments helped me grow so much, and that made me even fall in love with it more.
Yeah.
But then sports got in the way.
I see.
I started getting really good in track and field, and like top to the point where I was like top 10 in the country in the shot put and discus. And
wow.
Yeah, and I was getting recruited from all these different Division I schools. Like, it was literally consuming my life. And then and it also didn't help that my dad was my coach, and he had been coaching me since I was 4 years old. And I mean, I was basically destined to get all my brothers went Division I in track, and I was destined to do the same. And basically once I was a senior, I was going to all these different schools, all like for recruiting trips and stuff like that, and getting pulled so many different directions. And then I just chose to like go smaller D1, which was Texas State. So I did track and field over there, and I got accolades, and I was an all conference athlete there. We won 2 conference championships there, and got 2 rings out of it and stuff. But during college is when I found out, like, no, dude, this is my passion. Music. Right. This is it, because I had to take a break from the metal stuff, because to just focus on track and field and stuff. And then when I got to college, it was kind of like, hey, I'm not with my parents anymore. I'm in the dorm room, or I'm in my own apartment. And I started to fall in love with hip hop and like going down that route. Yeah. And dude, it's crazy how like all these different seasons of my life has just brought me to where I'm at now. And those were so from like 2012 to like 2015, 2016, basically all my years in college was just straight hip hop and trying to like perfect that craft. And I performed at South by Southwest on 6th Street and did all that stuff. Nice. Performed at the Square in San Marcos. Came and did shows when they had the Super Bowl here in Houston. I came back to Houston to do shows, and I went down that route, and I've seen the different sides of promotion of like how it is with the metal community and how it is with the hip hop community. And then and it's funny because back then when I was like just straight rapping, my other brother Brandon told me, man, you can scream, you can do all the like the deathcore growls and pig squeals and stuff. Why don't you just merge them into 2? Yeah, or into one genre or something, kind of like a Linkin Park, but like on steroids or something. And I was just like, nah, dude, that's corny, bro. They're not gonna get that. Like, that's no, that's just it seems like it'll work in your head, but I promise they're not. Like, 'cause I'm just thinking straight from a hip hop head point of view. Like, they're gonna listen to this screaming shit. I'm like, this is devil worshiping music. Like, what's going on? But dude, I remember being in college, and all my teammates and stuff, because I was on the track and field team. Most of my teammates were African American, and then when I played that shit around them, they were like, "Bro, this is like, hey, can you turn this down a little bit or whatever?" It's not everybody's style. But anyway, it got serious. It got serious once I graduated in 2017, because I was like, I already had multiple like mixtapes, and I dropped everything. And that's when I started building a buzz online, on social media, on Instagram, to be specific. And
is that kind of the era where you decided to pursue it as a career?
Yes. Okay. Like, dude, like the motivation was like, I'm not fucking coaching and teaching. Yeah. I'm coming home. I'm graduating in May, and I'm not even. I'm the original goal was to not have to come back and live with my parents, but then I ended up doing it.
Yeah.
But I told myself, like, dude, I'm going to give myself 1 year to go all in with the music shit, prove to my mom and dad that I can do this, and and honestly, I was saying that, but I had no idea what the hell I was doing, how I was going to do it. All I know is that at that time, I did have was building up a pretty decent following on Instagram and stuff, and I was having a little loyal fan base, but also at the same time, had a different kind of fan base at the time. I was kind of doing like Christian rap and hip hop and very positive. I barely cussed in any of my music. It was totally different than what I'm doing now. So yeah, came back home to Houston 2017. This is where that method came in, where it's like, dude, plan B is to make plan A work. How are we gonna figure this out? And I hustled. I did a bunch of like cheap features for tons of smaller rap artists at the time, and that was my way of saving money and doing all that, and eventually getting to a position where I could rent a house. And then
are the features like how you built your fan base on Instagram, or like what was that experience
No, dude,
like?
features was how I got money.
Okay. Yeah.
Because at the time, like, dude, I wasn't making enough on streams and views on YouTube and stuff like that. I had to like hustle. Like, when I say hustle, I mean, I was the guy sliding in your DM saying, hey man, I have this kind of like following and stuff. I'm just going to charge you $50 for a feature if you want. Like, I'll do a sick verse for you or whatever, and I can get you a little exposure. You know what I mean? And some of those, well, it's just $50. Yeah, sure. Yeah. And dude, I like looking back at it now, holy like, dude, I did so many like cheap features like that. And but dude, to me, like, if I could I would mess around and make $300-$400 a week or something like that, just doing a load of features for song or for artists that probably people have never heard of, but it's okay. You know what I mean? But in my head, I'm like, dude, this is a start. Like, I'm getting paid to still do music. You know what I mean? I'm upstairs in my room singing or rapping and stuff, and my dad's yelling at me downstairs to take out the damn trash. And there's only so much I could take where I'm like, okay, dude, I need to get the hell out of here. Yeah. I love you, Pop. Like, if you're listening to this right now, I love you, but I had to go, man.
No, all kids need to move out at some point.
But yeah, and then that's when it got serious, and finally moved into my new house and stuff like that. And yeah, man, that's when I started in 2019 is when I started doing like, okay, I know how to play guitar. I can play a little bit of drums and stuff. And by the way, all these years of college, I'm learning how to like mix and master and do all that stuff myself. Wow. I had gone through the experience of going to multiple studios in Houston, Austin, everywhere, and having these dudes like, oh, you're paid for 2 hours or whatever, and I'm recording for 1 hour and they're mixing for an hour, and they're rushing through that. They're trying to just, do what they can. And then at the end of the day, you're not getting what you want, what your vision is. Right. So I just, it was definitely some growing pains with that, because I listened to my old mixes and I'm like, oh, good God, bro.
Dude, if that isn't the epitome of like being in the music industry, I don't know what is. I have taught myself to do so many things simply because the people like that I could hire to do it, they weren't doing it the way I liked it. And I didn't want to keep doing this thing where I'm like, no, I don't like that, and like asking for so many revisions. Like, I taught myself how to mix. I taught myself how to use pitch correction so I can like pitch correct my demos, or like whatever.
You're the artist, dude. At the end of the day, it's your vision, dude. And like, it would have to be where you're dialed in with a producer for like multiple years to like, just even get an idea of what you're going for.
I was gonna say, and it is like, that's the thing, like sometimes you meet that producer and you're like, oh, they're like so good at like catching on to like the vision. But that's another thing, is like producers in general, me and Rachel have had this discussion many times, like there's so many times when you work with a producer and you really feel like at the end of it you're like, it seems like you wanted to use like my art to like actually express your creativity like and stuff. And I know there's like there's a balance in that. Like obviously producers are creative and there's an element to that. Sure. But there's like a certain sense of like it's like no, you kind of like abandoned what I actually wanted and totally went and then there's those producers you work with where you're like, here's my vision, and they're like, I got you. Okay. And then they know how to match it, and they can find, and they can do it with like lots of different artists, like where you're like, wow, like you really versatile, you really get well, that I feel like superpower.
What producers maybe need to keep in mind is, of course, you deserve a space and an avenue to express yourself creatively, but as the artist, like the artist is the face of the project, and there is a certain point in which it becomes disrespectful because they're paying you for your time. You know, it needs to match what they're going for, and you need to be able to take redirection and feedback. And if not, then either be clear about, I want this to be a completely collaborative process. I work with my main producer. That's exactly what we do. And he, from the beginning, he was like, I want it to be like 50-50 collaborative. Like I want to be able to creatively express myself. Yes. That's perfect. I love that. There are other songs where I'm like, I know exactly what I want, and I don't want to deviate from it, so I take that to a different producer. Right. You know, so it's like either be clear about it or do what the artist is asking. And I think what artists need to keep in mind is that it takes a while to build your team and to figure out who around you is good at what. Like I now have like my top 2 to 3 producers. I've got a guy that is like my go-to mix guy. I literally just finished up a project with him. You know, like I've got my 2 go-to video and photo people. Yeah, your mixes are always
dialed in, dude. From what I like, especially from what I've heard from you the last 5 years. Like, yeah, dude.
Yeah, I've got some really good people on my team.
Like, I mean,
well, and if you're a producer, if you're a professional in this industry at all, you know, this one I'll like look to the camera, you know, just in case there's somebody listening. Like, you have to know how to take feedback where somebody says, I want you to change something. And when you get stuck with a producer who just like cannot change something, my way
or the highway type of
you know stuff, and they get really like, hurt by it. Like you can like, it actually like hurts them, you know?
Or it's they're like, erratic and they just literally like can't even, like their ear holes don't open to hear the feedback.
It's like you, like that is not professional. Like that is not being a professional. I'm just like, man, I don't know anybody who I would send people to work with that way. I mean, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. But to go back and just to speed up to fully answer the question about my, you know, how Roll Music started. So 2019, I'm doing all these, I'm like playing guitar and I'm programming drums and doing all this in the editing software, and then I'm putting trap beats with that, and I'm rapping over and I'm screaming it. I'm basically becoming a one-man band. And then I had like one show in the summer of 2019, and it was dope. It was a small venue, but you know, it was sold out, and this was before I met you, obviously. But I had hired session like guitarist and drummer and stuff like that, and I mean, it was a lot of work. I mean, we still had to rehearse, and you know all about that. But at that point I was just like, dude, why don't I just make this a band? Like I might as well. I loved what I was doing, and I felt like I was coming into my own sound, but also I know that I'm not the best guitarist. I know I'm not the best drummer. Let me just focus on the rapping and screaming. And yes, I do produce. Like I'm pretty good at producing beats and like making backing tracks and stuff like that. I have that kind of vision. But let me get a guitarist in here and a drummer that knows what they're doing, and take this to, you know, other heights. And 2020. It's when it all started, and it sucks that the pandemic had to happen. But at the same time, it's kind of a blessing in disguise, because it's just like it really forced me to like get in the studio, figure all this out, get all the band members aligned. How do we want to do this, blah blah blah. And but yeah, we just been cranking out like music videos and all that stuff, and just I'm like, dude, like I said, I've done the shows, I've done all that, and that's just my vision. Like I felt like I've already taken that course, that hardcore grind in college of like doing shows every other weekend and thinking like that's gonna really get it helps so much, but you gotta build that online presence. I started to become almost like a businessman, a manager, if you will. And like, dude, look, we have to drop visuals, and we have to drop everybody's attention spans are so damn short nowadays. Don't do an album. Let's just do singles and put all our marketing budget and everything into every single, and just try to do our best to make them pop off. Pay for Facebook ads, Instagram ads, all that stuff. Do literally everything we have to do. And we just went that route, and it worked for us, and it helped us grow and figure out who's really gonna like be here in the long run for Rome Music, and you know what I mean. And yeah, man, we're finally in like the best place we've ever been, and now we will be doing live shows very soon. And we have some incredible news to drop very soon. I can't do it here, I'm sorry, but in the next month we're going to be announcing something crazy. It's going to be a very important part of Rome Music's history. But
ooh, history.
Yeah. Let's do it.
That's so deep. I love it.
All right.
Okay, so I've got a fun question here.
All right.
I don't like the way I said that. I've got a fun question.
Fun.
Okay,
give me that fun question, Rachel.
It's 2 questions that have to be paired together. A, what is one red flag in the music industry that nobody talks about? Follow up, what's one green flag in the music industry nobody talks about?
I'm sorry, Dustin. I'm gonna put you on the spot. I want him to go first.
Okay.
Let me cook.
Okay.
All right.
I got you.
I would say one that like nobody talks about. Oh man.
Sorry, man.
I would say maybe there can be.
You're starting with the red flag?
Yeah, I was going to start with the red flag. Okay. There can be a weird kind of. This sounds like celebrity talk, but it's really not. Like there can be like a kind of loneliness in any artistic endeavor, like any music world.
You just hit it on. That's pretty good, man.
Yeah, and I'm not talking like sometimes you'll hear like the super famous people be like, I know there's people around me, but it's still lonely, and that's legit. I'm not saying that they're wrong about that. I'm not really going.
When you're indie, you're literally alone.
Yeah, I'm not going like I just don't mean it in the same way that they mean it. There's like a weird kind of being in your head and feeling like there's the thing about being an artist is there's always something about yourself that you have to get expressed in the world. You have to get it out, like and it's like innate. It's in you. It's just there. And I tell people all the time, like people like, oh, I want to be a songwriter, and it's like you kind of either are or you aren't. You can grow in it and everything, but like so there's always this desire to get part of yourself out there and like understood or whatever. And it's like, but there's actually like it's like never actually out there. Like that thing is like it's like you still want it out there,
but you're like, no, I didn't say it right that time. Let me tell you again.
So like there's like this weird sense of like man, like nobody gets this thing about me that I'm trying to like convey.
Yeah.
So like it can never be fully conveyed. It's like
sure.
So that can be kind of like a
red flag.
a lonely. Yeah, it's like a lonely thing about especially when you like decide to like go into it. So
yeah, what's a green flag?
Well, can we do his red flag?
Oh, all red flags and all green flags?
He's reversing it. All right, I like it.
Okay.
Uno reverse.
No. I don't know if this like fully answers the question, but I would just say like a red flag is just having kind of like what I said earlier about like just kind of surrounding yourself with yes men. And like people in your circle that are kind of like crippling you to thinking you're something you're not, to be honest, or telling you, because dude, you don't know how much influence your peers have, these people that you hang out with daily, especially when I was in college. This was huge because I was so influenced by my surroundings, and I was so like, I didn't have enough faith in myself as an artist. I was so just
needing to
like validation from all these different people, and then they were pulling me so many different directions, so I was make somebody lost and lose themselves. And that's where you end up being in a position where I definitely was. I was trying to chase like who was popping on the radio. I was trying to be like Drake or Travis Scott or whoever was popping at the time, Tory Lanez or whatever. Like I was going like trying to mimic these different artists when I wasn't just being myself. Like I should have been doing this long time ago. But it's okay. Like we talked about growing pains and all that. But I just say, especially, and you see it even now with the just the social media influencers and people in Hollywood and stuff like that. They're just attaching themselves to like leeches, people that are just living off of them, and then they find themselves once again when those roaches finally scatter. Then that's when they get depressed and all that loneliness comes back, and they realize, oh yeah, I am just a human. I haven't felt human in like so long. But anyway, I think that's like your inner circle, man. Surrounding yourself with the right people. And it's a red flag if you have all these dudes that are just like, because I've had that. I've had, for example, like, no offense if this is, if you've been this person, listening to this right now, but I've had so many like friends of mine that are like, hey man, you just dropped some new merch, man. You hook me up with something. It's like,
buy it.
Support me, dog. How about that? There's a website just like everybody else. You go buy. I
have to force my mother to take.
You go buy Kanye. Why can't you buy mine? You go buy his for $120 or whatever it is, but you can't buy my $20 shirt.
Yes, that's so funny. Her mom did literally like
I have
buys
to
all of her stuff.
To take free merch.
It's like as I say, it's so sweet. She's so supportive.
That's a great mom.
And sometimes
she's
I'll
awesome.
sneak her like new free merch, and then I'll get like a Venmo later. I'm like, I'll send it back.
See, that's so cute, dude. That's awesome.
That's what I'm saying. Like my own mother. If anyone on this planet should get free merch, it's my own mother. She won't even let me like.
No, that's what's up.
That's what Rachel, when somebody asks Rachel, on Instagram, hey, how's it going, friend? Can I get some free merch? Rachel responds, my own mother doesn't get free merch.
Actually, I respond with, what's your address? It's in Germany and the shipping is $30, no problem. I have such a problem. This is why I don't run my merch table anymore, because I have such a problem with giving out free merch, because I'm like just stoked. Like I'm like, everyone can have everything for free.
You want something? I love that.
I'm not good at like
you're too hospitable.
Profit,
You're a good person. You're too nice. But okay, red flag. Or actually,
red flag.
You gotta get a red flag.
I would say. I mean, can I do two quick ones?
Yeah.
Okay, first red flag is like it's hard to make money. It's hard to make money. Like, just know that. If you're getting into a job because you want to make money, music probably isn't it. No. The second thing is don't get so caught up in what's working in general that you're not paying attention to what works for you. Like there's a lot of shiny things that you can kind of go after, like a million different directions you can go in for a music career. I mean, like I could probably list hundreds. Just because it's working doesn't mean it works for you. Is it something you enjoy doing? Can you foresee longevity with it? Like, are you gonna get burnt out? That could go as broad scale as like, maybe don't go into the sync world if you don't want to, if that's not something, the workflow for that doesn't work for you. There's a lot of money in that, but if the workflow for that doesn't work for you, don't do it. Or something as small scale as how to promote yourself. People can kind of get caught up in trends. I think trends are great if they work for you, but like I, at this point in my promotional career, have just given up on that. I'm like, I just want to make stuff that I like, that I think is funny. Same goes for music. My genre is all over the place.
It's your growth, though.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I'm working on a song right now. I guess I shouldn't reveal the name yet. But we just listened to it last night, and I was like, "Is this too different?"
I was
and
like,
he was
bro,
like,
this is so different from what
It's not different enough.
He was like, "You're in the married girl era." I was like, "Yeah, I am." I'm like, super happy.
That's
but we were like, we basically came to the conclusion. I was like, I'm fine being genreless. Like, if in order for me to have a sustainable music career, it means that I have to like confine into this one thing, then what the hell am I doing it for anyway? Yeah. Like, I never picked the safe option. I've never picked the safe option in my life.
And I was gonna say, in like genreless, like we were kind of talking about this. I feel like some people try to be genreless in the sense of like, they're like, oh, I'm just so like, it's so hard to define my genre of like, and it's like, you know, like you can be a genre. Like it's okay to like say you're a genre, but like it's also okay to be like, I'm genreless in the sense of like no, like I very clearly like this song is like, it's a pop song, or this song, it's a rock song, and this song is, you know, like folksy, like, you know, like, but you can, as one artist, like release lots of, you know, different types of music. So you're not genreless in the sense of like, I don't know, because I deal with that sometimes where like I get a little frustrated with like artists that I'm working with, and I'm like, okay, you want to take your music seriously, like, so how are you going to be, you know, like what's your genre, what's your style, what's your message, what's your anything, and they're like, oh, it's like, you know, you can't define it. I'm like, well, then you probably can't understand it, and people aren't gonna like, you know, like give some definition. Yeah. Anyway,
what's your green flag?
Green flag is that doesn't get talked about. That's the thing. Like a green flag that's like not being talked about is. Because I can think of like green flags for me. It's like, I mean, I freaking love what I do. I love my life. Like I'm so fulfilled. I
love my life.
Yeah, exactly. But something that like doesn't get talked about, it's tough.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
I've got one. Unless you have one.
No, you got it.
So my green flag can also equally be a red flag, but it's schedule. Like, the freedom of schedule. Like, now I jam pack the shit out of my schedule, but like I don't have to. You know, like when we had something come up the other day, and I was able to like literally drop what I was doing and go pick up the kids.
Right.
You know, like that's a dream. I think that's a dream for anyone to not only for themselves, but to be able to like, you know, be able to drop something to like take care of the kids. That's amazing. But also that means you make your own schedule. So if you're not putting things on your calendar, nobody is. Like nobody holds me accountable to release dates. You have to be very
self-driven.
Right. Yes. Nobody holds me accountable to release dates. Nobody's like, and I have like, you know, people on my team that they check in, but they're not, you know, and I don't think I would like it if they were like this, but they're not like, we need that cover art, you know, we need that master. And I don't think I would, I think I prefer that they aren't like that. I'm glad they're not, but like, man, I'm like, maybe every once in a while I need y'all to be like, where's the cover art? You know? So
I feel that.
My green flags.
No, that's actually pretty good, you know.
Yeah, I like that.
Like we're supposed to film tomorrow, and I'm
thinking about not
moving it to Monday. I'm just super tired, and I still need to edit the stuff from the last shoot.
I hear you.
Anyway, green flag.
Come on, man, you got it.
Uno reverse.
It's a little tough. I guess a green flag would be like, green flag is kind of what I was talking about earlier, is like investing in yourself. That's not talked about enough. Everybody's like, you gotta go, you know,
be on the grind.
You gotta be on the grind. You gotta go do this show in front of this specific person if you want your way out, or if you want to, or you got to go work with this producer if you really want to start popping off, you know what I mean? It's like, no, dude, invest in yourself. Like, invest in, like, your team, like, getting a videographer that's going to work with your budget. Right. And all, cause, like, dude, I mean, that's a whole different, like conversation in itself. Like, you're trying to find someone that can work with your budget and still produce high quality, you know, footage and everything. But yeah, mainly what I'm trying to get to is my best thing that I've ever done was just invest in myself in learning, put in the time, buying software, buying mics and interfaces, and learning how to do all that myself.
Yeah.
Because now, I mean, dude, I'm in full control. Like, even like if I ever were to get signed to like a major record label, I would still be like, I don't care how, if they have the top producers in the world, oh, he's got multi-Grammys or whatever like that, I'd be like, nah, fam. Like,
what's that Grammy gonna do for me?
Yeah, I'm gonna still be in control of it. If I ever need any help, yes, I'll reach out, but I want to be in control of everything. And I'm just confident up to where I'm at right now, and I'm still just continuously getting better. So that would be my green flag that no one really talks about, is like literally invest in yourself as an artist and not try to reach out to multiple resources, though, because sometimes your best resource is yourself.
Right, I agree. What's your green flag?
That actually, okay, so that kind of leads me into a little bit of a green flag that I think the thing that gets talked about with music is like the self-promotion of like, you'll get to have success, you'll get to have money, fame, fans, all that kind of stuff. When you're attached, like when you're doing things in the world of music, and I'm not an artist, right? I'm just in the world of
True, you are an artist.
No, you know what I mean. I'm not trying to like release music and be an artist, right? Like that.
I'm not a bad attitude.
No, but
he's lying. He's dropping a country album in a month. Okay, go ahead.
Beyonce features on it.
Oh God.
No, I was gonna say it's actually like when you get any kind of like knowledge or influence, and you get to like bring somebody along with you and like give that knowledge and that help, or like give somebody a hand up in some area, like you need to do a show, like there's this band over here, they're doing a show, like maybe you could open for them, and then you see them get to like take that step and move forward in that way. There's a lot of stuff like that gets to happen in the local music scene that it feels great. Like it's a really wonderful thing to get to be in a place where people see you as like, not like you're a superstar, but just like I would love to be able to do what you're doing in this part of the local scene or whatever, and then you actually get to help them. Like, it's kind of funny because in the music world, a lot of times there's a lot of gatekeeping and things. People are always afraid to like give away their secrets. But when you are secure and you're able to, that like your livelihood doesn't depend on you like keeping this some like secret or whatever of like how you're finding success.
It never does.
Feels, I know, and
always a conglomerate of like
10s
to 20s of hundreds of different things you're doing, like helping another artist in 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20 parts of their career is never gonna like, it's fine. There's a room for all of us to eat.
Dude, the metal community is absolutely horrible with that in my experience. Like,
really?
I'm talking about, when do you ever hear that, this band signed to let's just say Nuclear Blast Records for $3 million or something crazy like that? You don't hear stuff like that. You hear about it in the pop world, the rap, the hip hop world or whatever it is. But dude, in the metal community, like, I don't know why, like how these bands are getting paid, how much they really are. Because you think about it, like, dude, there's bands that are touring hardcore like 8 months out of the year right now that were still touring when I was in middle school. And why are they having to work so hard right now? It is because they're probably not getting paid a lot. And a lot of these, like, I'm just saying, in the metal industry, that's not talked about. So all these like bands that are coming up are signing these horrible deals because no one knows what is a good deal in that community. Now, rap, it's more of an open book. You hear about like bad deals getting signed all the time, and how it's basically a huge loan. Most of the time, they get some 18-year-old rapper that started popping off on TikTok, and he signs into it because he's never seen real money before. And
signs a 20-year contract when he's 18.
Yeah. They offer him $500K up front or something, and he's like, "Oh, my life's about to change," and then he realizes that he has to come up with that money in the next 2 years, or he's going to be
in debt forever.
Yeah, in debt forever, and they own all his music, and his music career is pretty much done. But anyway, I would just piggybacking off of the gatekeeping. I feel like we need to change that. The metal community, you guys listening, the metal industry in general. Let's start talking about money. No one talks about that shit. I don't know if it's a pride thing or whatever like that. We already gatekeep enough as far as like, you guys give me enough shit for like incorporating hip hop into my metal music. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, and it helps all the artists because it takes the power out of the hands of the people that are like unreachable or that like hold that money over you, and it puts the power into the hands of the artists, and it kind of forces the payers to treat the artists right. It's kind of like that thing at work that they try to tell you like you can't discuss your salary with like your coworkers, which I'm pretty sure in most states it's illegal to have that as a rule. You can always like discuss your salary, but it's like open book. That's what puts the power in the artist's hands. But in your community, the
people at the top, they just they don't.
They're selling you the lie of you have to gatekeep, and you're listening to it. All right, Rome, where can we find you? Where can people listen to your music?
Enough guerrilla.
Where can they challenge you to guerrilla fights with 99 other people?
All right, you can find my music at Rome Music Official on YouTube, Rome.music on Instagram, Rome.music on TikTok. You can literally we're everywhere on No, but you can. Our music is literally everywhere.
All streaming platforms.
On all digital platforms: Amazon Music, Apple Music, Spotify, all that good stuff. But yeah, definitely. If you haven't heard of Rome Music before, check us out. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow on all social medias, and you stay tuned because we are dropping some hot this summer, and it's gonna be incredible. It's going to be an amazing time for all our Rome Music fans, the Rome Music Empire. I love you guys. Rachel, thank you for having me on this podcast. It went a little longer than we expected, but hey, we're just talking here. We do this all the time. This is like a normal conversation we would have at one of my parties or whatever. And just want to say she's an incredible artist. I don't always work with artists. I don't always have featured artists, but when I do, they got to be the cream of the crop, top tier. They really got to add something that I cannot do at all on my track. It's got to be game changing, and she possesses that. I always told her that.
Bogey, any last thoughts?
I think Rome Music's cool. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it.
Oh my God! And we're out, folks. Just like that, I'm gone.